From Olympic athlete and distinguished lawyer to respected politician, Sir Campbell's achievements are well worth noting, and the former Liberal Democrats leader reflected on these aspects of his life at the I Write Book Festival on Friday night. The 66-year-old was speaking to the Herald's Ruth Wishart about his memoirs entitled My Autobiography, and began by reading an extract from the book from his time as an Olympic sprinter.
The day of the final dawns. Every relay runner's secret dread is dropping the baton. Today it's mine. Will I become the man who dropped the baton at the Olympic final in the newspapers tomorrow morning? We go to the warm-up area for one last practice. The 32 fastest men in the world are there, sprinting and stretching and passing batons. No one runs flat out in case he pulls a muscle. Everyone holds back just a little. As I glance round, it seems to me I'm the only one who's apprehensive. Perhaps they're just better at disguising their feelings.
Sir was questioned about the increase in drugs use in athletics and recalled the suspicions he held when in the sport.
I take a very hard line about it. It was starting just as I was giving up, really, in athletics. You would meet these East German sprinters who the year before you could comfortably cane by 2 or 3 yards, and suddenly they were 2 or 3 yards better than you were. And that's just physically not possible over 12 months. I think it's always difficult to keep up, but I think those who are found to have cheated, because that's what it is, have got to recognise that the penalties will be severe, and that's why I would not select Dwayne Chambers for the next Olympic Games.
In 2002, Sir was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, and the MP for Fife North East explained his way of dealing with the cancer.
Although I was having chemotherapy and then radiotherapy, I was still broadcasting. I was sort of staggering down the pathway at 10 o'clock and going off to do Newsnight from the BBC's headquarters in Edinburgh. And it was one of the ways, it wasn't part of my cure, but it was one of the ways of coping with the consequences of the treatment. And I was trying to be positive. And to say, look, I want to be the deputy leader of the party was, from my point of view, a positive thing to say when the treatment had not yet been completed.
Sir was asked about his predecessor as leader of the Liberals, Charles Kennedy, and how the latter's drink problems were concealed by the party.
You had this enormous ability to connect with the public and to achieve great political success. But at the same time, we knew that there was this weakness. And I suppose what we did was we sort of bet that all would be well on the night. I think that's probably the truth of it. With the benefit of hindsight, one can see occasions when perhaps one ought to have taken a different point of view.
The issue of Sir age dogged his time as Liberal leader, and he explained his frustrations with the image requirements in modern politics.
A lot of what politics is about now is about performance, and that was something I found difficult to cope with. The strength of the argument is often much less significant than the pugnaciousness with which you make the point.